Hi, it's another terrific day in Coto de Caza, Orange County, California. Today we have a new plant. This is our Blue Elf Aloe. So we're in USDA Zone 10, and these guys seem to be doing pretty well. I'm not sure if it's the best place to plant these because we have these oak trees here that shed their leaves and their acorns. So it kind of requires a lot of cleanup of these plants here. This is a Blue Elf Aloe. It's a natural hybrid. It probably originated off of North Africa in the Canary Islands and the Cape Verde Islands, and then brought down to South Africa where it became naturalized. And in California you could buy it at your nursery. It's called a Blue Elf, California Aloe, or a Blue Boy, but don't confuse it with another plant called Aloe California, which is a more robust variety of this plant. So it's described as a tough, heat-loving, evergreen, tight clumping, dwarf, hybrid aloe. You can see all the leaves here just accumulate in this plant, and it really impedes the growth. So you got to keep these out in the open. Anyways, a moderately fast grower. He grows about 1 to 2 feet wide. Looks like somebody here stepped on this guy here. And they usually don't have a lot of stems, mostly leaves, but see, this guy grew a little taller. You see his stem right here. But most of the time, it's really just a nice rosette of these leaves here. And they're dense, silvery, bluish gray, or greenish leaves. They grow upright, and they're kind of thick at the base here. And then they thin out to the top, to this little point. And usually the point is a little bit purplish. You can see here. Okay, and they have these little, we'll call them thorns, or serrated, sharp teeth on the margins. But they don't hurt you. They're a little bit soft. And they also have a resilient waxy cuticle or covering on the leaves. See that? And that helps get a little bit wet. Anyway, that helps prevent moisture loss. It helps them store water. And they got this reddish tinge here. You get that more in extreme temperatures or when the plant's a little bit stressed out. So these guys here are not blooming yet, but we have a flower stalk here on this guy. He's ready to bloom. But I have a couple across the street that are blooming. Look at these guys here. See how they're, they're just not planted right because they have so much debris in them. On this little hillside, it comes down. But I'll show you the ones over here that are blooming. We'll take a look at the pretty orange flowers on these guys. All right, so here's a whole nother row. Now these are a little purpley color, and they're more stressed out. And it probably because, see this shade here they get? I don't think they get enough sunshine, but they might not get enough water. And if they are getting both, then the drainage of the water is probably not very good. But we do have some blooms. Here's a flower stalk. Comes up to this cluster of flowers that start to bloom. They'll bloom here, work themselves up through time, keep blooming. Little dangly, tubular shape, trumpet kind of flowers, and they open up, and they're loved by hummingbirds who like to get their beak right down in there. And if you want to get more flowers, what you do, around late December, you augment the soil here with a phosphate 10-40-10 fertilizer, and that'll promote more flowering in spring. There's a snail in here. And when the flowers are spent, or the flower stalks are spent, this guy branched out, he's going to get a lot of flowers. Well, you cut off the flower stalks, and you get more flowering. This guy, he's getting He's got a flower stalk here. He's got one already came up. It branched out into two. So they are drought tolerant. They like full sun. If it's in the shade, you'll get fewer flowers. And they're hardy down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. They're fuss-free. They thrive in poor soil. They're perfect for your little containers, rock gardens, little water features like ponds or fountains. And you plant them by your agaves, your sedums, or your coreopsis sunflower daisy-like plants. And you plant this, put it in lean, loose, sandy, or rocky soil. They're best if they're faced south to the sun, and you space them about 18 inches apart, okay, or even up to 2 feet apart. See how they spread? And they need to be fast draining soil. They don't like standing water or saturated soil. And then when you first plant them, you water them a lot, but then you taper down. And don't overwater it in the winter months. And for maintenance, remove any dead leaves, and all the debris you find here, and also the flower stalks that are already bloomed, and it should be pretty good. And to propagate this, it's not that hard really. These plants produce a lot of offshoots. I mean, this one here, there's a whole plant here you can see. Here's a whole other one here, whole other one here. You cut off the offshoots or the pups and replant them. But about every 2 or 3 years, it's a really good idea just to pull up this entire plant, separate it, and then replant the individuals, or just give them to your neighbors and they'll replant them. Otherwise they just get too big and bulky and they crowd themselves. This one here has a big stem. See this big stem coming up here? Well, that's too big. This guy really ought to be just pulled out, all the pups or the side branches removed, replanted, cleaned up, and plopped back in the ground. And he should do a lot better. See this one here, he's really on borrowed time. I don't think he's going to make it unless he's taken care of. Let's take another look at our flowers here. One last time. Some flowers here. And right here too. Wow, pretty. And don't step in these. See here, look at the big, somebody stepped right here and kind of smashed this plant. And they don't like that. This one here is really stemmy. There's a little bit of trash in there too. So clean them up, keep them all tidy and healthy. Make sure you separate them. And when they stress out, they're going to get this purple color. And the purple, you never know, it might be overwatering, underwatering, high temperature, low temperature. It might be because they're flowering and a lot of the energy has to go to the flower stalks instead of the leaves. So you never really know with these guys. All right, this is our Blue Elf Aloe up in Coto de Caza. Hope you liked that video. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, all the rest, and I hope you enjoy my other videos as well. Okay, a little pretty Blue Elf Aloe. One last look. See it glows in the sun here like that. All right, so have a great day. Thanks for watching.